you see a lot of potential that you can do with apps that you cannot do as well with traditional approaches. So, for example, apps have the potential to be highly scalable, that you can use them on a very large crowd with low resources, especially if they have little or no feedback, but are kind of working automatically. Then there's the hope that may help to kind of really integrate what we do in training, prevention, treatment into people's daily lives. I mean, the smartphone is something they have with them all the time. Why not use it to give them little tasks or tools or things to do better? Especially when working with young people, there's also the hope that you can increase acceptability if you have an app that's kind of interesting and maybe even fun to do. So a lot of people see a lot of potential in that. I think there are also more pragmatic reasons, to be honest, because there have been a lot of funding opportunities for this in recent years by the European Union, for example, especially in Europe. I think this got a lot of people into that. And there are also some aspects that make it easier to conduct research or treatment or training with technology than if you have to get everybody in face to face. So I think it was the combination of pragmatic choices kind of pushing people to there, but also a lot of potential that a lot of researchers and developers and clinicians see in using apps. We have all these different apps that have been developed, but very few of them have been really studied regarding the efficacy using gold standards, randomized controlled trials with large populations, with appropriate follow-up intervals and so forth. So our main aim really was to develop an app that's that we can then test rigorously in two randomized controlled trials with an appropriate follow-up running up to 1 year later on to really test whether it's working or not. And that is missing in the field, to be honest, which has lowered the acceptability of some of the development research that has been done, because a lot of apps are promoted without being evidence-based. Well, the second one is that we really built this app based on very thorough theoretical and scientific principles that we think made a lot of sense as a next step. I think in a way, there are pushbacks. There's also a lot of skepticism. I think the potential is there to say, well, we need apps for certain goals that we can't reach via other means. So you need to find the niche where the app really works well. And this is what we try to do, to really find a niche in the field of prevention for an app that's evidence-based and that is really used by young people, and that's effective. That was our goal. That was our vision, so to speak. So first of all, we thought we need to collaborate with young people when developing it, and really need to get their feedback. So we ran the project in 4 countries across Europe, and we had youth advisory boards in each of the countries, and they were actually guiding us the way, giving us feedback. And there were quite a few things that actually were very clear from the start on, and that put us on a slightly different track than what we had thought. So one was that they really wanted the app to be flexible. A lot of us had in mind, okay, we have a step procedure, you need to learn this before you can learn this, but they were very clear, no, we want to have choice, we want to have flexibility. So we built that in there. They also were very clear in wanting to keep it simple. So a lot of the stuff that was maybe a bit over the top, thought to be animated and made kind of more appealing to youth, felt too much to them. And they said, well, I want to have an app that takes us seriously, as not being too childish, but really kind of as it is about mental health also, that we feel taken seriously. So these are just 2 examples. There were many more. So co-designing with the target group, in this case with young people, was very important. I think what was also important in this case was that we were a group of people, some of whom were more from a basic research context, and then also clinicians who have a lot of clinical experience, and then experts on implementation, and really getting the different perspectives together, I think, is very important.